Jim Richards is Professor in Biomechanics within the Allied Health Research Unit at the University of Central Lancashire. The focus of Professor Richards' work is to encourage interprofessional research whilst developing direct parallels to the real world of allied health work.
My first degree was in mechanical engineering, and then very quickly after that I moved into working in clinical biomechanics, and particularly looking at rehabilitation, where I did my Masters at Strathclyde University and then my PhD at Glasgow Caledonian University. From then I developed a strong interest in biomechanics and rehabilitation in particular, and then since then we've evolved the research that we do here.
The Allied Health Research Unit works alongside clinicians in both the NHS and private practice on a wide range of research projects.
Since 2004 we've really built the research group from a very, very small number of people now to having over 60 individuals who are now research active within the group.
The biomechanics team are engaged in a variety of projects, each with an overarching theme that they deliver research with a real-world impact in areas such as healthcare, rehabilitation and injury prevention.
Now this spans many parts of the body, from looking at the mouth and looking at swallowing in speech and language therapy, all the way through down to the foot and ankle with looking at different orthotic management. So we have a specialism which covers all of the professions that link with pretty much every single joint of the body.
The state-of-the-art movement analysis laboratory at UCLan is one of the top facilities of its type currently in use in Europe. It is equipped to conduct advanced motion analysis, muscle and strength assessment, and thermal imaging. The extensive facilities, combined with significant staff expertise, allows world-renowned high-level research.
All the questions we want to answer in here are: how can this help treatment of a particular patient at a particular time? So it's all focused around improvement of healthcare.
With a growing need for evidence-based practice within the allied health professions, Professor Richards and his team are looking for ways that they can assist with design and development of further products that can be fed into allied health practice.
So we need to know what different treatments do, how do they work, could they be further improved, what different equipment can people use to help the rehabilitation. Is there new equipment that's now on the market that needs to be tested for its suitability for rehabilitation? And all of this therefore gives the physiotherapist or allied health professional more and more equipment, but also more and more research evidence that underpins their everyday activities. What we have here is a therapeutic exercise that is called a decline squat. Now the idea of a decline squat is to offload the ankle joint while putting some load at the knee, and therefore changing where the emphasis is in terms of the loading and the rehabilitation. So we published a paper back in 2008, and what we were doing is exploring what happens at the different decline angles and which is the optimum angle for the different types of rehabilitation. And from this work we found that an angle somewhere between 15 and 20 degrees is probably more beneficial than going all the way up to 25 degrees. We then linked in with a clinician who had this research idea or this product idea to build this varying decline board. And what we quickly found was that this prototype device was able to offer a decline squat, a graduated rehabilitation angle, which meant that we could graduate how much load we wanted at the ankle and the knee. Now this is very important for any rehabilitation that's a graduated process. Based on our early research, this led to a further product development which is now directly used in clinical practice around the UK.
Like most development work, we all start off from a concept, but that's got to be refined, and it can only be refined by independent research and study to actually understand the actual end result one's looking for, i.e., does the product work? How is it working? How does it benefit the end user? And more importantly, what are the safety elements that needs to be applied in the overall final development study? Working with the university, and especially with the department concerning biomechanics, we were able to redefine the original design work in order to get a finished product that was fit for market.
The Lift Baby Sling is a baby carrier. You can carry newborns as well as toddlers into it as well. The sling is actually sized to fit the wearer, so they actually buy their dress size or t-shirt size, and that means there are no buckles or clasps to narrow the sling, so it's nice and wide across the shoulder, which makes it easier to use and more comfortable to use.
Now, the lift sling is a device which tries to allow a more normal loading pattern on the base of the spine when carrying a young child. A lot of people will carry their child on their hip, and what you can see in this animation is that the person is very much inclined over to one side, and in doing so they're putting a very, very large load around the base of the spine, which can cause back pain. So this is what happens when the person is walking without the lift sling. This is exactly the same individual moments later, but now wearing the lift sling and carrying exactly the same load. And what we can see now is the spinal posture is much, much better, it's much better aligned. The place where the forces are acting is also much more symmetrical around the base of the spine. So this is going to act as an offloading mechanism around the base of the spine, reduce the chances of back pain. Now, this work was used in particular to prove the fact that the lift sling did offer some rebalancing of the loads and offered some therapeutic benefit in terms of preventing or reducing the chance of lower back pain.
Well, the unique selling point that was proven by the biometric facility has actually helped us secure a contract with Boots the Chemist and helped us become a global brand.
Many of our PhD students who are practicing clinicians are doing part-time PhDs. So this is a progression of the thinking from going through undergraduate, going through into masters, but also then going out onto PhD to find out more about the evidence base behind different practice. This is very much something that we want to further encourage. So currently within our research group we have about 30 people who are doing part-time PhDs, or a few of them doing full-time PhDs. So we've got a tremendous variety of research projects going on, but all of this helps to build a vibrant research community.
Under the leadership of Professor Richards, the Allied Health Research Unit continues to improve the quality of patients' lives and enhance athletes' performance, whilst delivering a world-class teaching and learning experience informed through a background of real-world research.